toe. I don't like I'm not going to breakfast. They don't have breakfast. I got to go to Jude. I still left over for that. You don't know if anyone uses my microwave because they got a new one in the kitchen. I was going to give it to them. It's a white one, and I don't use it to warm stuff up. It's really, you know, it's got a warm cycle and all kinds of stuff. I'm going to get a black one because my kitchen is, the appliances are all black. So if not, everything's gonna go to the Humane Society. I gotta actually call them up and give them a specific date to come up and get all this stuff. So I can make an appointment. And I got a ton of cookies. Out of what? Yeah, I got about 20 of them I gotta give away. I'm not taking my bacon for ours. That's gonna go. Where's her cooker? Her cooker. Just on the surface. Drop it in that little glass. Well, I think she usually does, but I don't know. It just didn't make it the other day. Okay. Good morning. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Good morning. Thank you, Joyful Noise. Let's do our Joyful Noise welcome. This is Joyful Noise. This is Don and Jen and Donna and Doreen, and this is Jane and Roberta and Sandy and Barbara and Megan and Lois, and they are Joyful Noise. And we're going to be blessed with our choir singing the special music this morning. Welcome to our Sunday morning celebration service. All of you who are here in the room and all of you who are on Facebook and YouTube, welcome. We're glad you're here. Good morning to Ellen and Hope and Joan on YouTube. And good morning to Elisa and Jen and Rose and Ellen. And apparently people are staying in bed this morning. And for those of you who are not in Florida, I don't know what it was at 6 o'clock in the morning. It was 39 degrees outside my house, And right now it's 50. And for those of you who are in, the bombogenesis in the Northeast, I'm sorry. And we're cold here. So welcome everybody. As always, masks over your nose and mouth while we're in the sanctuary and in the building, except for obviously if you are on the platform. Welcome to first-timers this morning. If you are present in the sanctuary and you feel comfortable in doing so, we invite you to raise your hand so John and Lynn can see you and give you a welcome packet. Very good, thank you. Right down here, John, and right up here, Linda.
Right there. Right there. Right there.
Right.
There you go.
If you are a first-timer online and you would like a welcome packet, please email our administrator, May, at admin, that's A-D-M-I-N, at unityofstewart.org with welcome packet in the subject line and, of course, your name and address, and she will be delighted to send you a welcome packet. For those of you who do have a welcome packet in your hand, there's a bunch of stuff in there, some about the Unity Movement and about our Unity Church. There is a prayer request form in there. You can fill that out and put it in our prayer box. That's out in the factory. That's out in the foyer. We don't have a factory here. We don't have a factory. There's also a form in that welcome packet. If you take it and fill it out and bring it back to the welcome podium at the end of the service, Bobby will be delighted to give you a gift. If you're here new today and you haven't raised your hand, I invite you to take a welcome packet by the inner sanctuary doors on the way out. What I'd like you to know every Sunday, I'd like everybody to know, we all would like you to know that we are a welcoming, affirming, positive path of spirituality. All are welcome here, no exceptions. We do have as always, we have a few announcements, and I'd like to introduce this morning today's prayer chaplains, and I see Amy with her prayer chaplain stole on. Is there any other prayer chaplain in the room this morning? Okay. All right, so Amy will be delighted to pray with you at the end of the service. She'll remain in the sanctuary for a little while. If you'd like some personal prayer, our prayer chaplains will pray with you and hold your prayer in the highest confidence. Oh. And you see all that. If you'd like to email the church for prayer support and to get put in our prayer box, please email at that address there. And also you can call our home office, our Silent Unity prayer line, which I like to call the Mothership. And that is the number there, 816-969-2000. Our annual meeting is coming up on February 27th at noon, and that's where we give you a snapshot of what happened last year and a snapshot of what is happening this year. We also have the opportunity to vote for new board members. We have one person who is running for the board, and that's Mary Claire Anderson. She's running again. She has served before, and she's running for our board again. If you have any interest at all, and if this announcement scares you, then you should talk to me. If you have any interest or it's on your heart to be part of our board of directors, please see me. I'll be happy to talk to you about that. So we have some changes going on in our Women of Wisdom group led by Stacy Goldstein. It's been meeting on Monday nights from 6 to 7:15. There will be a meeting tomorrow night from 6 to 17 in our classroom, and no meeting in February. Beginning in March, the Women of Wisdom group will meet the first Tuesday of every month in the classroom from 6 to 7:30. So the night is changing. It'll be once a month, and it'll be a little bit longer. So just so that y'all know that. And if you have any questions about that, you can email admin@unityofstewart.org, and we will make sure the question gets answered. And now it's time for our dedication and our daily word reading. So I invite you to join me in dedicating our service to miracles, remembering that miracles abound. And our affirmation this morning is miracles are happening in my life today. Take a deep breath into that. See if you can believe that. Miracles are happening in my life today. A miracle can be defined as an extremely outstanding event, thing, or accomplishment. Observing nature, I am reminded of the glory of God and the miracles that abound. I may be quietly watching a bumblebee collect pollen from a flower, wondering how its delicate wings could possibly lift its robust body into the air, and indeed they do. The miraculous bumblebee flies. I never have to look far for a miracle of life, for I am a miraculous being in so many ways. My mind and body carry out numerous complex functions every second. I am able to move and heal and think and communicate with others. My spirit is eternally one with God, and my life is a miracle. So let's just take a deep breath together. And in this time, in this sacred place, in this holy community, we are open, receptive, and responsive to the truth that miracles abound. Miracles flow in and through our lives. We are open to see even more of them. We trust, we have faith, and we connect with Spirit in knowing that miracles abound. And so it is. Amen. And as we do, let's affirm our daily word affirmation together. Miracles are happening in my life today. And let's take a deep breath to anchor in that affirmation, that claim. As we affirm one more time together. Miracles are happening in my life today, and so it is. And that's time to prepare for meditation, and as we do, let us sing, I Am One with God. And I invite us into some deep breaths, 3 if you please, deep conscious breaths. Dropping your shoulders, dropping any baggage that you carried in today, and setting an intention to be here now, in this time, in this holy space. And each subsequent breath, as your breath returns to its natural rhythm, I invite you to keep letting go. Letting go of any tension in the body, any challenges of the past week, all the activity of this morning. I invite you to drop any judgments, any concerns, any self-doubt. I invite you to drop any circumstance that seems too great and be here now in conscious communion with Spirit. Breathe. Let go. knowing that Holy Spirit moves in and through us, calming us, infusing us with peace, comfort, and divine love, we enter into this time of prayerful meditation. And I invite you to allow the words you hear to become the words of your own mind and heart this morning. There is one presence and one power in my life and in the universe. The presence of peace, the presence of love, the presence of well-being. And I live, move, and have my being in this holy presence. No matter what is happening in my life, I am one in God. And I am open, receptive, and responsive to divine love, divine guidance, divine wisdom, divine miracles. Even though I may not know what the future holds, I declare that it is good. I hold a big, bold vision for my life. And I claim miracles. My eyes are open that I may see life with new clarity, lifting my vision to all possibility. I see with spiritual clarity, with spiritual assurance, that everything I need is laid out before me. And what is mine to do is to be open, receptive, responsive, to claim the goodness, to claim the prosperity, to claim the wholeness, to claim the harmony, to claim the peace. Spirit is here, alive and well in me, and I am blessed as I co-create the life of my dreams. Spirit is alive and well in me, through me, and as me. And I am blessed. In quiet. And as we have co-created this sacred space of blessing, of wholeness, of peace, of love, of harmony, of prosperity, I invite us to bring into our awareness all of those who are on our prayer list here at Unity of Stewart, and all of those that are in our minds and hearts this morning, speaking out names into this holy space. And releasing our loved ones into the care and keeping of divine presence. I invite you to pray this with me in the name, in the nature, in the light, and in the love of the indwelling Christ consciousness. And so it is. Amen. And let's sing. you. Joyful noise. Thank you. I think I'm going to move this away from the front of you both now. Can you give me a hand here, Jane? Lift up the thing. Eek, Okay, Jerry, you can turn that mic off now, yeah? Doreen, is this okay right here? Okay. All right. Some other folks showed up online this morning, and I didn't remember if I said hi to Ricky this morning. Hi, Ricky. And Lori and Julia and Ann and Kathy and Angela and Terry and Susan from Vermont and Judy from Albuquerque, New Mexico, my old stomping grounds, Rose and Mike. Good morning. Good morning, Connie. Good morning, Joey. And glad you're here with us. A priest, a rabbi, and a Unity minister decided to go on a fishing trip together. They went down to their local lake, rented a boat, and went out on the lake for a day of fishing. As the afternoon approached, the trio got hungry and realized that they left their lunches on the shore of the lake. So the priest got out of the boat, walked across the lake, got his lunch, walked back, and sat down, beginning to eat his lunch. "You should have gotten all our lunches," said the Unity minister. So she got up, walked across the lake, picked up her lunch as well as the rabbi's, walked back across the lake, sat down, handing the rabbi his afternoon meal. The rabbi at this point is flummoxed. He's almost out of his mind. His eyes are wide with shock, and finally he manages to say, "Well, how did you both do that?" And the priest grinned at the Unity minister, nudged her, and whispered, "Do you think we should tell him about the rocks?" To which the Unity minister with a raised eyebrow replied, "What rocks?" Miracles. Today we're talking about miracles in our fourth part of our Turning Point series. Miracles abound. And this morning, this month, we have explored and experimented with the idea of turning points and how turning points lead to tipping points. Turning points founded and based on our basic Unity teachings. So we've taken 5 of those basic teachings and have called them the turning points. And here they are. God is an energy of love and creation that flows through all, sustains all, surrounds all, is all. The universe has our backs and is constantly conspiring for our good. Life emanates from us. We create our world with our thoughts, beliefs, and energetic frequencies. There is no reason to struggle. Once we let go, surrender to the universal flow of life, life with a capital L, will take over and handle the details. And finally, our worthiness is not at stake. It never has been, and it never will be. There is nothing required of us to be worthy. We are simply worthy because of who we are. If you're in the sanctuary, there are some printouts of that on the information table on the right-hand side in the foyer. If you are online, you can scroll down on our Facebook page and find those turning points. So we have been talking about that if on a consistent and ongoing basis we live from these turning point views rather than from a lot of the world views, so if we live from turning point views rather from the worldly views, we will tip over into knowing and experience our oneness with Spirit. We will tip over into knowing that miracles abound and they happen everywhere. And we'll find, after all, that it's not really miraculous. It's rather simply the way life works when we are aligned. Body, mind, spirit, when we are aligned with God. Ernest Holmes writes, "A miracle is something we are not accustomed to seeing or experiencing. In reality, there are no miracles, for what seems to be a miracle is but the effect of a supremely natural law. The faith that can bring about the least demonstration can bring about the greatest." And of course, that reminds me, if you have faith like a mustard seed, all things are possible. So in the past prior 3 weeks, we experimented with the turning point views and creating miracles, and we've had some particular experiments, which are also out on the information table if you would like to see those. And I hope you had fun with those experiments, and I hope that you had seen the fruits of your consistency. And if you haven't, and what you have been looking for is not coming to fruition in your life, I imagine there could be a little frustration there, yeah? Yes. So even if some of these experiments have worked for you, or if all of them have worked, I invite you to think about where you might still be frustrated in your life. Take a moment or two to think about where you're frustrated in your life. And here's something that I know, but sometimes I forget to apply. Maybe it's the same for you. Frustration, worry, anger, resentment are all repelling emotions. When we live inside of frustration, we are repelling our good. When we are frustrated, when we're not receiving what we're praying for or what we have intended, what we want is literally pushed away from us. We don't have space. We haven't created that space within our mind, body, spirit to be a welcoming presence for what it is we say we want. And we may know this, and knowing and doing and acting into this can be difficult. They're two different things, which is why we should embody the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, who said, "Stand guard at the portal of your mind." So what this means simply is watch what you're thinking. Watch your thoughts. I say this over and over again during this series and, for years now. Our thoughts are formative. Our thoughts are creative. What we think about on a consistent basis is what we bring into our lives. I'm not talking about fleeting thoughts. I'm talking about the ruts we groove into our minds with the same thoughts, usually negative, over and over and over again. So we are called to guard the portals of our minds. In the foreword to the book that I've been using for this series, the book is by Pam Grout. The book is called E-Cube. She quotes author Gabrielle Bernstein and says this: "The only reason you're not aware of the nonstop stream of blessings and miracles is because you're looking in the wrong places." And I'll add that we close our eyes to them. With just a little willingness and awareness, it's amazing what can happen. So we're going to look at miracle mindsets this morning that are ways of looking at life through the lens of our turning point views. So let's jump right in. The first miracle mindset is, what else is possible? Versus, this is just the way it is. How many times have you said that? It is what it is. This is just the way it is. Instead of what else is possible. The truth of infinite possibilities exists. We talked about this last week when we talked about quantum physics. Everything is possible at the same time. The only reason our lives look the same today as they did yesterday, because we are investing our energy on the what is. This is the way it is. We miss the miracles when we're in that space of, this is what always has been, this is what always will be. We miss the miracles because we focus only on the current condition. And our co-founder, Charles Fillmore, said this: "It is your mission to express all that you can imagine God to be. Let this be your standard of achievement. Never lower it. You can attain everything you can imagine. If you can imagine that it's possible to spirit, if you can imagine that it's possible to higher power, to divine mind, to universal mind, it's also possible to you. Whatever your mind conceives, that is for you to create. That's the law." So, if you're experiencing a part of your life right now that you would like to experience differently, I invite you to ask yourself, what else is possible here? And I couple that a lot with there is a solution for this. What else is possible here? And if you find yourself arguing with yourself, here's the question that's blessed me more than once. What would I do next if I didn't think this was impossible? What would I do next if I didn't think this was impossible? And then, of course, go do it. Performing miracles isn't a matter of doing the impossible. It's a matter of redefining what's possible. And we can do that because of turning point 2 that says, the universe has my back and is constantly conspiring for my good. Man, don't you want to jump on that train? The universe has my back and is constantly conspiring for my good. That's miracle thinking. And so the next question then is, what else is possible? The miracle mindset. Here's mindset 2. This is a piece of cake versus this is hard. Right? I catch myself saying that too. I actually caught myself as I was saying it a little bit earlier in this lesson, and I said sometimes it's difficult. What if we said this is a piece of cake? What if we created that groove in our minds? Pam Grout writes, hard is a 4-letter word that is one of the most dangerous words in the English language. It's especially damning when combined with something you want to accomplish, such as getting fit, changing your thinking, attracting money, and she wrote, get a hot date. Her words, not mine. But because our beliefs are so powerful, they literally sculpt our lives on a moment-to-moment basis. To believe, and especially to say out loud, that something is difficult is counterproductive. If we expect things to be hard, we can create life that way. Remembering our turning point view number 4. After doing what I'm called to do, I can surrender to the universal flow of life with a capital L because it will take over and handle the details. So it really is a piece of cake. It's not that we sit back and say, okay, life, you got this. I don't need to do anything. No, we have to move our feet. Right? We pray and we move our feet. We affirm, we claim, and we move our feet, and we do the next indicated thing when we answer the questions, what's possible? What's next? Miracle mindset 3. I'm connected to everything versus I'm all alone. Most of us would say that we have a belief or we have a faith that higher power, universal mind, God is present. But do we always feel that? Do we always see that? Do we always know that? I'll answer for all of us when I say, heck no. Because sometimes I get in that space. I'm sure sometimes you get in that space. It's like, okay, feels like I'm all alone in this. Right? The miracle then is the shift in perception that removes the block, not in spirit, but in us. A miracle is a shift in perception that removes any blocks to my awareness of the presence of God right here and right now. It's the shift in perception that's the miracle. So right where we are, we can feel and be guided by and open to the presence of one power, one presence in our lives and in the universe. It's not that we have to call on God to make miracles happen. It's that we have to bring our attention. We have to get into alignment with the presence and power. Religion has emphasized, look what God can do. But our master teacher emphasized, look what humanity in God consciousness can do. Look at what we can do when we are fully aligned with Spirit. One is looking for miracles from God, which is to abandon personal responsibility. The other is knowing that God moves in, through, and as us, seemingly accomplishing the impossible. So, we're called to be aligned with the divine in, through, and as us. Ernest Holmes says this, and I love this. I invite you to throw yourself with complete abandonment into the very center of the universe. Throw yourself in complete abandonment into the center of the universe. Jump into spirit. Jump into the pool of divine blessing. Refuse to be knocked off the beam by challenges that are happening in your life. Always, always jump into the divinity with abandonment. He goes on to say this. There is a point in the supreme moment of realization where we merge with the universe, where a sense of the oneness of all life so enters our being that there's no sense of otherness. It is here that the mentality performs seeming miracles because there's nothing to hinder the whole, capital W, from coming through. We can do this only by dwelling and meditating upon the immensity of life and the fact that as vast, as immense, as limitless as it is, the whole of it is brought to the point of our own consciousness. Piece of cake. So, miracles, to experience, to see, to claim miracles, we are called to become ever more into alignment with Spirit, living, moving, and having its being as us. So that's when we achieve the miraculous. We see the world in an entirely new light, and everything is a miracle, and everything is sacred. So I want to end our month on this topic of turning points with a poem. Many of you are familiar with the poem Footprints in the Sand, right? It's a beautiful poem about God being there for us when we are weak and most alone. It's moving, it's touching, and it is not the poem I want to leave you with. So rather, it's this poem about making a decision to live within the turning points and creating a tipping point for the good in your life and in the lives of others. And the poem goes like this. One night, I had a wondrous dream. One set of footprints there were seen. The footprints of my precious Lord, and mine were not along shore. But then some stranger prints appeared, and I asked the Lord, what have we here? Those prints are large and round and neat, but Lord, they are too big for feet. My child, God said in somber tones, from miles I carried you alone. I challenged you to walk in faith, but you refused and made me wait. You disobeyed, you would not grow. The walk of faith you would not know. So I got tired, I got fed up, and there I dropped you on your butt. So I could stew and get upset, be the victim and moan, but yet once I see that I'm okay, and this is just another day in which I can take full control and realize that I am already whole. That love is all around me now. That principle takes over somehow. To know that love is all there is and accept for me the best that is. I claim my right to glorious health and open my arms to limitless wealth. I thank my God for all it's done to help me see that we are one. This last thought I'll let you hear if you're still sitting on your rear. There comes a time when one must rise and take a stand or leave their butt prints in the sand. So the question I have for you is, where's your butt? Miracles happen, family, when we recognize that God is an energy of love and creation that flows through us all, surrounds us all, is all, which includes each one of us. I claim this truth for each and every one of us. Namaste. And it's time for our celebration of abundance. And you can see there are a variety of ways to give of your goodness to Unity of Stewart. And I thank you, we thank you, our board thanks you, our church thanks you for all of your gifts, your love offerings, your blessings. Thank you to our consistent givers. If you're interested in knowing what consistent giving is, there is a form in the seat backs, and you can look online for that as well. Let's affirm a prosperity prayer and our love offering blessing together. In a universe overflowing with the allness of God, all of the needs of unity of Stewart and those we serve are instantly, constantly, and bountifully met. From every direction, known and unknown, expected and unexpected, our abundant good comes to us now. We are grateful. Amen. And our love offering blessing together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give and receive always in love. Give thanks. And we have a few more announcements. Cheryl Roby does a healing meditation on Facebook Live on our Facebook page every Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock. We invite you to join in with Cheryl on that. We don't have any kiddos here today because I think there's a little... Oh, hi! What's your name? Taylor? Hey, Taylor, I'm glad you're here this morning. How old are you? 5? Well, welcome. Glad you're 5 and glad you're here. All right, so before we sing to Taylor, I'd like to invite you to our lunch and bingo on February 13th, right after service. Lunch will be at 11:45, bingo at 12:30. And you can see all that soup and salad is $5, bingo is $10. And this is to support our youth going to retreats. Our teens get to go to retreats where they meet with 60, 70, 100 other youth, and they fundraise for a portion of that. The rain date, in case there's rain, is the following Sunday on February 20th. And I know that it's Super Bowl Sunday, Don. And it starts at 12:30. I mean, the Super Bowl doesn't start till 8 o'clock at night?
Yeah, it's about 6 o'clock.
Oh, 6, okay. All right,
Yeah.
6. All right, so anyway, February 13th, bingo. And now let us bless Taylor and our youth and family ministry. Love you. We bless you. We truly, truly appreciate you. We behold the Christ in you. And we can be seated. I have another announcement before we actually have two. In many of the seats, not in all of them, but in many of the seats there is this card that says, welcome, here's what to expect today. And I just wanted to bring that to your attention. It's something we're redoing. We put that back in the seat backs. And we also put some important information on there. And that is the December finances. Every month these will change, and the finances for the month will be on the bottom of those. So you can read that and see that. And for those of you who are online, you might like to know, and for people in the room, of course, that it takes $30 per person per week to run Unity of Stewart. So thank you. I know many of you give way more than that. We thank you for your generous tithes and love offerings. And one more announcement before we close. I want to get back to there we go. I'm going to invite Roberta Scott to come up to the podium, and she's going to introduce somebody to you who is going to be in the sanctuary after the service.
Good morning. It's my great privilege to introduce Madeline Bozon. She is the, want to come up here?
Come on, Madeline. Come on up.
Madeline is the CEO of Family Promises. Family Promise is an organization that we are a support congregation of. We do tithe to them right now, and I know they appreciate our money. However, we're really looking to have you more involved. As Jude was talking about today in miracles, we can be the miracle to put homeless families in homes. So if you would please just take 15 minutes out of your time after church today to hear what Madeline has to say on how you can support the homeless families here in Martin County. Thank you.
All right, thanks, brother. So yeah, we are, Unity of Stewart is a supporting ministry to Family Promise. And what Madeline will talk about this a little bit, but what Family Promise does is gathers churches who can house homeless families for a week or so, right? It's all families, and do the people have to have a job? And they have to have a job, and it's homeless families. And then as a supporting ministry, we're called and invited to companion with people, to bring food, and to just be a supportive presence, because in Martin County, there's no place for homeless people. So let us be part of that miracle solution. All right. Let's affirm the prayer for protection and close with the peace song together. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is. I am divine. And the peace song.